Look, you're seeing the same thing that we've been seeing play out over the past few weeks. Now we're hearing from a U.S. official, this is Bloomberg reporting, that a U.S. official telling us that the technical talks between Iran and the United States are set to continue happening. Now, we don't have a time frame, we don't have clarity on where they would take place, but overall the narrative repaints itself really, and it looks like we're going back to the state of back and forth with the U.S., namely President Trump coming out with these really strong remarks, similar to what he has said at the NATO summit in Ankara a couple of days ago, that the ceasefire talks, according to him, or as far as he's concerned, are over, but that the negotiators, Steve Witkoff and Jared Kushner, can go back to having these technical talks with the Iranian side. So we've seen 2 days of straight attacks by the United States in Iran, killing over a dozen people and injuring dozens others, and then Iran saying that it will strike back. At the heart of all of this obviously remains the Strait of Hormuz, and it looks like it has taken the edge of President Trump's main goal in this entire MOU, Lizzie, and that is the nuclear component. We haven't really heard of much progress in the nuclear component or the element of that in the MOU. What we've been hearing a lot about is the Strait of Hormuz, assets, the frozen assets, and the oil sanctions that the Treasury Department in the United States has wavered or revoked that waiver for Iran. So we've been hearing a lot about that, not much about the nuclear component. So when we go back to those discussions, it'll be interesting to see just what exactly is being discussed.
Yeah, that's the diplomacy. Interesting that you've got Brent there at $76 a barrel, even though we're hearing that traffic in the Strait, as you say, was pretty much at a standstill yesterday.
Yeah, it was at a standstill, and our energy teams reporting this morning that the ships that have the light on, as you would say, are nearly vanished. They're not there. We might have some movement in ships that have turned off their lights and are going through the waterway. But for the time being, we're not seeing a lot of optimism in the Strait of Hormuz. We're seeing ship movement continuing at a near standstill. We're hearing that Qatar, Lizzie, if you remember, it came out 3 weeks ago or so and said that it will ramp up its LNG production in one of the facilities that was damaged during the war. It will ramp up fixing that facility. And now Qatar yesterday saying that it will pause that ramping up, because if you remember, I mean, the way this whole thing started was with Iran attacking an LNG-laden ship flagged to Qatar at the beginning of this week. And so you're not seeing a lot of signs of optimism. But when it comes to the oil market and the reaction by traders, it was instant when President Trump made those remarks, but we seem to have steadied since then. We seem to have Brent prices calm down a little bit, just because the market seems to understand that this state of back and forth will continue to be the case, with the MOU discussions unraveling every now and then, but never really collapsing altogether.